Hi everyone, it's Levi Minderhoud, BC Manager for ARPA with Andre Schuten, our Director of Law and Policy, and we're here standing in front of the BC Supreme Court after hearing the first day of hearings from the church's case here. And so we spent one day in the courts, some new developments, and the beginning of the argumentation. The first exciting thing that probably happened is right off the bat, the judge decided of whether ARPA can intervene in the case. So Andre, what did the judge say there?
Yeah, so it's a yes, it's a go. We're really excited about that. We're very thankful for that. Thank you so much to our supporters for your prayers and your encouragement. Our written legal argument, our 20 pages of written legal argument are submitted. The judge will consider those, and he asked specifically for ARPA to also make oral arguments later on in the trial on specific points within that legal argument. So we'll actually be posting our legal argument on our website a little bit later. Probably not this week. We'll probably save that for a week or so from now. And then, so for anybody who wants to read it, you can reach out to Levi or myself, and we'd be happy to share it with you. So yeah, we're really excited about that opportunity.
Yeah, and we certainly covet your prayers for the team tomorrow as we make those arguments. It is an exciting time and exciting that we'll be able to make that. Yeah. So what else did we get to see today, Andre? Like there were some procedural things right off the beginning, right? Yeah. That was causing some confusion.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a bit of a technical legal issue that had to be sorted out at the beginning. So I'm going to try to explain it for you. So under the current order, corporate worship, so worship in person with other people, is absolutely prohibited, totally banned, and has been since November 19th. But there is a section 43, which allows for a group or a person to ask for what's called a variance, special accommodation for a particular person or a particular group. And so in January, the group of churches that are bringing this legal issue to court today, that group of churches did apply for that variance. They didn't have high hopes, I don't think, for getting it, it being granted. But in fact, it just got granted this past Thursday. Well, not fully granted. A type of grant was given where Dr. Bonnie Henry said those churches were allowed to meet, but it had to be a maximum of 25 people, had to be outdoors only, no singing allowed, had to be fully masked, physically distant, and limited to 1 hour only, no more than that. And so it's a bit of permission, but hardly enough to make much of a difference in the trial, in my opinion anyway. So the lawyers for the government were arguing, well, the only thing that really should be argued about in a court case like this is about that variance itself and not the other constitutional issues. And the lawyers for the churches were saying, well, no, that variance is just one small part of a much bigger case, and we really should be arguing about all of the constitutional issues raised here. So so there's a bit of finagling there at the beginning about that finer point. But then the rest of the case, the rest of the day, got into the evidence, some preliminary stuff about what rules should the judge be applying in the big picture of things. I won't bore our viewers on that. And then really got into the evidence for throughout the whole afternoon, right? What do the medical doctors say? What's the medical evidence? What's the evidence on the sincerely held religious beliefs of the churches and the pastors and so on? So,
yeah. So here on Today One, we mostly heard from the lawyer Jaffe, who's representing the JCCF and the churches that are in this case. So he was making almost all the arguments today.
That's right, yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to be hearing a little bit more from him. Yeah. And then hopefully in mid-afternoon, sometime tomorrow, we'll be making ARPA's arguments. Yeah. And then maybe by tomorrow we'll already start hearing what the government's going to say in reply.
That's right, yeah. So I expect that the bulk of the legal arguments have to be made tomorrow morning by the church's lawyer yet. Yeah, and then I would count on ARPA making our argument at some point in the afternoon. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. So day one already done. 2 more days of legal hearings to go. Yeah. So again, we continue to covet your prayers for not only our work here as ARPA, but also for all the cases, for Justice Hinkson as he deliberates and decides his case, and also for all their churches and church leaders as they are in the tough decision and predicament of saying, okay, how do we grapple with these COVID-19 restrictions? So continue to pray for that.
Yeah. So thanks very much for all your support.
Yep. Take care.